How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and a brand new background as you guys see. I'm actually in Ruidoso right now, Ruidoso, New Mexico, obviously. Staying here at the Elegante Hotel, so if you're in the area, I'm sure you know about that hotel. It's actually super nice. It was paid for, which is nice. I'm here for work. As you guys know, I'm interning at the Artesia Daily Press, but the Artesia paper will often work with the Carlsbad, Ruidoso, Alamogordo papers. So I'm here helping, with the floods, covering them. Last week I wrote some stories about them, and tomorrow as well. Got some pictures just right now. Just got back from it, actually. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a Lobo. That doesn't happen too often. Who is now an Aggie. It hasn't happened too often in the past. I'm going to talk about him, his playing career so far in college and what led to that and what led to his decision to come to NMSU. But before that, I want to show you guys this room, show you guys a little bit of the hotel. I think it'd be super nice to do. So at the front, it's like your average hotel. Have the fridge, have the microwave. I got some seats, some couch. You got my bags for work. And on the outside, the view is not horrible. It really depends on where you're at. I'm on the first floor, so as you guys see, I'm right at the bottom. There's a random car just chilling. As you guys see the sun. Got some nice trees mounted to the back. Pretty nice scenery. Not sure what happened here. I just noticed this, but that one's normal. This one is not. The TV, I was watching some NBA Summer League just before this, and I'll probably watch some more later on. Got the bed, little bathroom. I can't remember if I mentioned in my last video or not, but I was actually in Ruidoso last week at the same hotel, except I stayed on the third floor, so the room layout's a little bit different, but it's pretty similar for the most part. Other than that, let's get straight into the video. Also, I apologize, I have no NMSU gear on. That's obviously because I'm on this little trip for a few days. I was actually gonna make a video in the hotel room last week. I was thinking about it and maybe showing you guys some of that room. Because again, it's kind of similar to this one, but I just never got to it. I was busy with a lot of other things. I was really tired. I didn't want to make a video while tired. I'd rather make one when I'm more full of energy. I did have a Monster energy drink today, a white Monster. Those ones seem to have really, really good energy. I had that, went to the gym, did really good, and came straight here. So if I suggest an energy drink for you to stay up, have a white Monster. The player we're talking about today is Ibrahima Sacko. He was a really, really good high school basketball player and has, I wouldn't say struggled, but hasn't had the same impact in college just yet. Kind of similar to Sir Malanga. He's a 6'6" forward, so not another guard. I know, surprising, right? It feels like the last 7 guys we've signed have been guards. He's a guy that's coming in, again, hasn't had the biggest impact, but with us only having, I think, 4 total forwards, he definitely has a chance to, get in the rotation and earn some valuable playing time for the first time in his collegiate career. He played his first year of college basketball at Georgia Tech. Pretty solid basketball program. Played in 20 games, started in 3 of them, played about 12 minutes a game, only averaged about 2 points. A guy that can dominate the paint well and, brings it on the defensive end as well, just like Jacoby Osborne. He also averaged 3 rebounds a game, which again, might not sound like a lot, but for the minutes he got, not too bad, I would say, in my opinion. He also shot 48% from the field, which isn't bad, but he did only shoot 30% from the line. I'm pretty sure he only took, a handful of them, not too sure how many. And he shot about 29% from 3. So shooting's definitely not the greatest, could definitely use some work. But he does have to finish inside pretty well, so that's a plus. He joined UNM the next season and upped his efficiency to about 58%. Played in about 19 games, didn't start in any of them, and only played about 6 minutes a game, which causes points per game to go lower, only averaged about 1.5 points. But when you take into account the minutes he played, it was probably about the same impact he had at Georgia Tech. Obviously, UNM's our rival, so don't want to give them too much credit, but they had a great year last year. I believe they finished 25-6 in the regular season or something like that. So maybe if Sacko was on a team where they finished like 13-19 when the Aggies went to the NCAA tournament in 2022, with Teddy Allen dropping 37 and Johnny McCants doing his thing, same with Serge Bright-Rice. Maybe if he was a part of that UNM team that we also beat at the buzzer with a Nate Pryor layup, 78-76, I believe was the score. I know I'm kind of going crazy right now, just trying to, show the positivity for NMSU basketball. We actually beat them 4 of the past 6 times, or maybe even 4 out of the past 5 times at the pit. Heard different things, haven't fact checked myself, but I know it's one of those for sure. If he was part of one of those teams, maybe he could have had more of an impact, but UNM was just so good this past year. It was hard for him to see the floor, kind of like Xavier Johnson for us. So hopefully Sacko can, find more playing time with us. And it's not like he's a guard. Christian Villegas, who we talked about last video, it's going to be really hard for him to, earn valuable minutes because of all the guards we have who have really good experience of playing college basketball. But anything's possible. Right now, our forwards, Jacoby Osborne's only entering his 2nd year, and Sacko's entering his 3rd year. So he has a little more experience than Osborne does. But I think Osborne has more experience, earning valuable playing time for sure. Kyrie Smollin's a dog, so he's going to be definitely playing. Same with Julius Mims. So Osborne, and he's a returner, so it's going to be hard for Sacko to, maybe earn his stripes, but I think he can definitely, do it with the work ethic. And there's going to be games that we need him. I mean, for the 4 forwards we have, assuming that's what we have going into the year, chances are one of them's going to be hurt a game, maybe sick. Obviously, I don't want that to happen, but we saw what happened with Peter last year, dealt with injuries and sicknesses at times. So there's definitely a chance that Sacko will have a chance to, prove his worth at some point during the season, and maybe even started a game early in the year. Like in the scrimmage when we had Edward Namelko start, that was the only game he started, and it didn't actually count as a game. It was just a scrimmage. And Sacko does have 3 games of starting under his belt at Georgia Tech, so it's definitely not a surprise if he comes in and contributes, but it also wouldn't be a surprise to me if he's, not contributing at a high level right away. But I think he'll definitely get his chance one way or the other eventually, whether it's at the start of the season, middle of the season, end of the season, whatever it may be, anything can happen. Since he only played a handful of minutes for UNM, didn't get to the line a whole lot, only took a few free throws, didn't make any of them unfortunately, so it shows that he shot 0% from the line, but again, he only took a few, so it's kind of hard to judge based off that. Did only shoot about 25% from the 3-point line, but at least he's shooting them, unlike Ben Simmons, even if he's not the greatest 3-point shooter. I think he might be one of those guys, again, you can't leave him wide open. There's a couple of guys on our team like that who aren't the greatest shooters in the world, but you can't leave them open. Kyrie Smollin's a guy who would actually argue that's a decent shooter, made about 47 threes the past 2 years at Hampton, but at the same time, that's not his strong suit, but if he's open, he'll knock it down, I think. So I think our shooting will be a lot better. I think our overall offensive ability will be a lot better. And we're going to still need defense, and I think that's where Sacko's going to come in. I'd be really surprised if he's a guy who even averages 5 points or more, but I think he can definitely be a guy that, he might not show up in the stat sheet a whole lot, but if you go to the games in person and watch them, he will pass the eye test for sure with his defense and rebounding ability. He also doesn't seem to turn over the ball a whole lot or foul a whole lot, but again, we're looking at the averages, that's based off the minutes he's been getting, which haven't been much, and hopefully he can contribute at a high level for the Aggies for the next few years. Like I said earlier, he was a dog in high school, averaged 29 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, I think, about 2 blocks, 2 steals in Canada. He was one of the top players in Canada, just was a baller overall. He was actually invited to play in the Nike Hoop Summit in Portland in 2023, which features some of the best high school players from across the country, so that was pretty insane. But he was hurt, so he did not play. But the fact that he was among those guys is, pretty crazy. And again, I know his college career hasn't got to the greatest start, but he has played for 2 really good programs, and NMSU is another really good program. But I think with, Hooten's style of play and, style of coaching, I feel like Sacko could fit in pretty well. I think Hooten's really good at developing centers, posts, forwards, guards, anybody. So I think anybody that plays under Hooten, including Sacko, has a chance to succeed right off the bat for sure. That's going to close it out on Sacko. Just a quick update of a new player that we signed. So we should have 14 players for the Aggie roster. Again, I'm not sure why Marvin Cox is not on the roster, but if any of you guys know, let me know in the comments. I know a couple people have been asking me, but I have no clue what's going on with that. We talked about Josh Powell last video. I actually did make a post about him a while ago, actually. I made a lot of posts about high school athletes being offered by Coach Hooten. There's so many of them, and the staff does a great job of recruiting those guys. So I kind of just forgot that I actually did make a post, but the name did sound familiar. He will be visiting New Mexico State this, fall, and he's a forward as well, so maybe he can fit well with Sacko if Sacko decides to stay after this next year. We only have 2 returners, assuming Marvin Cox isn't returning, with Gabe Pickens and Jacoby Osborne. They're young returners, but it's going to really help them build as leaders. And with Sacko coming in, hopefully that's a guy that they can, help teach and, understand the program that Hooten's trying to build well. I say this a lot, but I'm just really excited for this next year. I think with the offensive talent we have and some of the good defensive abilities we have, I think we'll be really solid. With the team we have right now, it's hard to say how good our defense is going to be. It's going to be really hard to beat from last year's team because that was one of the best defensive teams Coach Hooten's ever had. And I'm not just saying that as an opinion. He said that himself, and a lot of his assistant coaches, like Payne Andrews, said the same thing. But I don't think he's a part of us anymore. I think he went to SFA or something. So shout out to him for at least getting a new role, but we are going to miss him. But I do like our coaching staff in general right now, as it is. Obviously, we have Madsen, who's really good from Texas, and the list goes on from there. Even if our defense isn't as good as it was last year, I think our offense is going to be 10 times better. I know I've said that a lot, and I'm sure you guys understand it just fine. But again, if our defense isn't great, don't worry. I think our offense is going to be awesome. I still think our defense will be good. I think if you're going to be on the court playing for Coach Hooten, your defense has to be good. There was a game, I remember Coach Hooten's first year, where Christian Cook dropped 26 points against Northern Colorado in the Aggies' first Division I win, because the first 2 wins they had were against Solar State, who was D3 at the time, now D2, and Western New Mexico, who's a D2 school. And it was at home. That was the game that really showed how good the Aggies were going to be at home that year, and just in general under Coach Hooten. Like I said, Cook had 26 points. That was his first really big game, hit many threes, many clutch shots, but he was taken out at one point because he wasn't playing defense. And we know Cook's defense is pretty solid overall. It doesn't show up in the stat sheet, like he doesn't get a whole lot of steals or anything, but he's just a great on-ball defender. Again, passes the eye test, which is something I think Sacko can do, even if you don't see it on the stat sheet or the numbers after the game. Overall, I think Sacko has a great chance to, prove his worth and succeed under Coach Hooten. Nothing's guaranteed, but he definitely has a chance. Everyone does, right? I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really appreciate the love and support I've gained recently. The past 2 videos I've done have been doing really good. The Surge to Bright Rice video is almost at 600 views. Hopefully we get to 1,000, and hopefully get to 1,000 subscribers eventually by the time I graduate in May 2026. I would like to hit 1,000 views on that video eventually. I think that'd be really cool. I haven't had a video hit 1,000 or more in a while, so if you haven't checked out the video, please go check it out now. If not, recommend it to a friend, because we're talking about one of the Aggie greats, Surge to Bright Rice. Even talked about DeJuan Gordon a little bit, played for the Aggies a few years ago. The video I made, talking about the Conference USA schedule, and just giving some updates as well with the Aggies. That video has like nearly 200 views, I think, in just the past couple of days, which usually takes a week or more to even hit that, because most of my videos will hit 200 to 300 views, but after like a week or two. So the fact that it's hit it that quick is pretty awesome. Please keep supporting the videos. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I know a lot of YouTubers deal with that. Like a lot of people that, you know, watch their videos and a lot of views they get are from people that are non-subscribers. So again, if you're not subscribed, please do that. We're at 831, I believe. So again, if we could hit 1,000 by May 2026, which is when I graduate, that would be awesome. That's my goal. And the only way you can reach that, I mean, obviously I can, you know, do my best and work hard like I'm doing, but I need you guys to subscribe to do that. So I'd really appreciate you guys if you do. And for those that are subscribed and that have been for a while, I really appreciate you guys. I'm out.